Hey everyone, Erica here, barefoot instructor. We're going to do a deep stretch class today. We're going to start with our feet far apart, toes facing the front, parallel relationship to each other. Arms are going to come up overhead, palms together, bend the elbows, send the fingertips to the back of the room, and send your hips to the front. Reaching those fingertips to the sky, seat the shoulders. Reaching open to the horizon, flip the palms, dive forward, flat back. Look down at one arm, look down at the other. On your next exhale, release forward. Shake your head yes and no. Plie, bend the knees, rolling up, one vertebra at a time. Roll the shoulders back for 4. Arms together, overhead. Bend the elbows, send the fingertips back, hips forward. Reach the fingertips to the sky, seat the shoulders. Arms part, flat back. Look down to one side, look down to the other. Tapping one arm back to the side body as the other arm comes forward. And relax everything over. Shake your head yes and no. Walking over to one leg, take a stretch. Bend the knees, lengthen. Walking over to the other leg and take a stretch. Bend the knees, lengthen. Walking to the middle. Looking forward, wag your tail. Plie, bend the knees, rolling up. Shoulders roll back for 4. And then take your elbows back. Arms cross and open. You can take diagonals if you want. And let them settle down. Lift the shoulders up. Let them drop. Again. And hands together overhead. Bend the elbows. Send the fingertips to the back, hips to the front. Reaching up to the sky, seat the shoulders, part the arms, flat back forward. Looking down to one side, looking down to the other. This time when you tap, you can move your torso with you. And when you're ready, release everything forward, shake your head yes and no. Bring it down to your forearms if you can. Soften the knees. And extend. Walking over to one side. This time you have the option to take your same side arm as leg that you're stretching over, reaching through to grab the opposite leg. The higher you are, the easier it is. The lower, the harder. And release. Walk it back to the middle. Bend those knees. Lengthen. Walk it over to your other side. Same thing here on the thread. Take it back, walk it center, bend those knees, and lengthen. This time walk the hands through the feet if you can. Once you find a good position through the legs, you can bend your elbows at 90 degrees. Keep your knees straight. Bringing those hands back through, bending those knees, turning them out. You can walk up elbows to knees. Placing one hand to the same side leg, dipping that shoulder in the middle, turning and looking over the opposite shoulder. And switch, same thing other side. Taking it center, feet turn back forward, elongate the spine, look forward. Bend the knees, roll up. Take your elbows back for 4. And then bring your whole arm, big circles for 4. We're gonna let those shoulders relax. Turn and look to one side. Turn and look to the other. Bring it back to neutral. Drop the head to one side, add a little bit of weight. Switch the hand to the back of the head, looking down at the diagonal line. Opposite arm reaches out and away, tucks behind your back. Release, lift the shoulders up. Let them drop and settle. And other side. Moving the hand to the back of the head, find the diagonal line. Opposite arm reaches out and away, tucks behind the back and hole. And release, head circle in one direction. Send it back, head circle in the other direction. Turning those feet out, so now the toes are facing away from the midline. Bringing those arms up to the horizon. This time we're going to take a lateral stretch on one side. Your lower arm can experiment with placement wherever it feels good. We're going to contract, glue the belly button to the spine, look down at that same side leg that we're stretching over. And then take 3 giant circles, taking the arm to the back of the room first and then to the front, following it with our head in focus. And then we're going to bring that arm straight up. And then it's as if someone's grabbing our hand and they're pulling us up. We're going to switch sides. Same thing, other side. Contract and round. 3 circles. Swing those arms cross, front and open. And we're going to bring it down to seated. So we'll start with our bottoms of our feet together. Placing one hand to the same side knee, sending that shoulder in the middle, turning and looking away, just like we did standing. And switch other side. Coming back to neutral, we're going to move through the spine. So we're going to contract and exhale. We're going to dive our head through. We're going to lengthen our whole back to straight line, flat back. And then we're going to use that straight line to come up. We're going to do that 3 more times on our own speed. Last one. And then we're going to reverse it. So we're going to flat back over, reaching that spine long. Exhale, contract, rolling up, 1 vertebra at a time. Out again. Two more times. Coming back up to neutral, scooting those feet a little bit further away, and forward fold. Take those feet through, reaching down, grabbing the balls. If you can't reach all the way to the balls of the feet, you can grab legs wherever feels good today. Using your breath to try to get your body closer. Keeping one hand attached to the same side foot, opposite arms, gonna thread through, staying really close to the leg, turning and looking over the shoulder. Bring it back through neutral to switch sides. Same thing, other side. Bringing it back to neutral and rolling up. We're gonna bend those knees, arms behind us, drop the knees to one side. Try to keep the shoulders square to the front. And also keep the abdominals engaged so you can feel this one. Bring it back up through neutral, same thing other side. Bring it back up through neutral. Hands come really close to your hips. And we're gonna think about squeezing our elbows together as we send our hips up to tabletop so we can get a big shoulder stretch here. If you want a bigger stretch, you can extend your feet out so then you wouldn't have bent knees anymore. And when you're ready, bring it down. We're gonna go straddle. Keep the knees and the toes facing up to the ceiling, and we'll walk it forward for a big stretch. Walk it over to one diagonal line. And to the other. Bringing it back to the front, see if you can get a little bit further than last time. And send the tailbone down, walk it up. And swing those legs under you, so find your own way to get to sort of a kneeling position. And then from here, we're gonna try maybe a new to you shoulder stretch. So we're gonna reach, let's just start with all fours actually. Let's do a little cat-cow. Do this through a couple of times. Head to tail connection circles. Now there's two options here. Taking one arm out in front and threading the other arm under. Or you can thread both arms under. If you don't like your forehead being on the ground, you can split the timing to look to one side and then the other. And then if you've got both arms through, take note of which shoulder is in front so we can switch. Otherwise, if you were doing a single arm, you can go ahead and switch that. Now, your tail will be in the air for this one, especially if you're doing both arms. When you're finished, we're gonna walk that up. Taking our rib cage and isolating it side to side, really trying to stretch through the tissue. Taking our rib cage and trying to isolate it front and back. And then we're going to try and stir it on top of our seated position. So taking the ribs out and away, circling around. One way and then the other. And from here, we're going to reach those hands down, send the hips up. Slowly walk the hands to the feet. Plie, bend the knees, rolling up. Interlock the fingers together behind your back, look up. Option to take those arms overhead as you forward fold. Release the arms, rolling up. This time you can shift your hips side to side if you want. And we're all done. I'll see you next time.